This Luge and downhill skiing update of the Olympic Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 with promo code, $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN. What is up, DGen Nation and Olympic betting hopefuls and degenerates and everything in between? What is up? It's your host, Adam Pelletier, coming back to you here with another episode of the Olympic Gambling Podcast. It's been a good stretch right now. The books have wised up to our curling over and under strategy, but we've got that locked in. We'll get to that a little bit later. We've got training run updates in luge and men's downhill, and we start to preview the women's downhill as well, which has some medals coming up. The opening ceremonies are tonight, so we're excited. Recording this late on early morning Friday, about midnight on Friday morning, so you'll probably be listening a little later today. Nothing we're talking about other than the curling is going to be cashable today. Everything's cashable in the future, so we're looking ahead. We're getting into the meat of the Olympics, and we're actually going to do stuff. I know there is ice dancing, but I have an abject hatred of all things figure skating and ice dancing, so I'm not going to talk about it. Sorry. Tough. You'll be okay. So, starting it off, men's luge. Germany came back with a vengeance here on the training runs 3 and 4 today on the hill. I know we're looking out a little bit there, but the Germans really came back strong today. The Italians had the top 3 spots in the training runs 3 and 4, but the reason why I'm on Germany right now and why I really like them, especially over on Kalshi, because their prices dropped to 12 cents. So for 12 cents, yes, you're getting Germany to win the gold medal, which is lower than Italy and Austria. The Germans on these training runs have had more consistent speeds from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill than the Italians. The Italians are really having some fits and starts. They're not as consistent and they're not holding it as well. So with that inconsistency, that really makes me nervous, especially since Germany appears to be really feeling things out. And you've seen Locke and Langenhahn and even Grancagnolo. I am butchering that one, and I apologize to him and his family. But those 3 guys all running about the same in the 4, 5, 6 position in all these training runs over the last 2 training runs. So the fact that they're running kind of together like that makes me feel like they have a pretty strong strategy. So I'm very confident that they're going to win the gold still. So I'm all in on that right now. That's the men's luge play right now. Lock it up over on Kalshi. Germany to win gold in at 12 cents. Maybe get out of it at 40, but I think you're going to be in this one for the long haul because you got 3 Germans there in the 4, 5, 6 position. I think it's just going to be, or Locke is in the 4 position, sorry, and Langenhahn's in the 1 position. My apologies, I was misreading that. But Locke just feels like he's going to lock that up. So I'm all over that one right now, and you're going to be hard-pressed to get me off of it just with how consistent those guys are running. Heading over to our first medal event, which is happening first thing Saturday morning, so we might get one more podcast out. You might not be able to hear it before the gold runs start at 5 a.m. on Saturday morning. But Odermatt and Paris, their gold prices have gotten better after the most recent training run. Both Odermatt and Paris had solid runs, but they fell back a little bit, but they were kind of in that stretch where it feels like they're not pushing themselves in training. They feel like they have a good feel for the mountain, so why are they going to push themselves? Why are they going to risk getting hurt? Take it easy, see what everybody else does, kind of get that going. Odermatt still running really, really well down the hill. Same with Paris running really well down the hill, both of them about 2 seconds off the leader, who is Casse out of Italy. However, Casse did miss a gate as well, so he would have a time penalty in a normal run. The Italians are running high on the list, but again, I gotta trust. You gotta trust Odermatt and you gotta trust Paris. I love both of them for gold medals, and Paris I really love for just to get a medal in general. So the play there, again, as it's been all along, Ottermont Gold and Paris. I'll put a Paris Gold in there, sprinkle. Most of my units are going on Ottermont, but I'll put a little bit on Paris. And then I'm going to put Paris on to medal because he's plus odds over on DK as well. Can't find anything on the men's downhill on Kalshi, which is a little disappointing, but give them some time. Kalshi's kind of feeling it out. It's Super Bowl week. They got some other stuff going on. I'm thinking after the Super Bowl's over, we're gonna start to see some more options popping up over there on Kalshi as well. Now, heading into the women's downhill, the big news here was that Lindsey Vonn tore her ACL. Vaughn has favorable odds to win gold and to medal on DraftKings. However, that terrifies me, and I'm staying away from that. There's just nothing I want with an athlete with a recently torn ACL, heading into a huge competition, especially since she hadn't really been doing much on the World Cup prior to this year. She was skiing a little bit the past couple seasons, but she hasn't been performing at a high level. She hasn't been at a high level since the last Olympic cycle in 2022, and even then she was only really Lindsey Vonn in 2018 in that stretch. So, pushing hard here, getting older. I'm not really about that. It makes me nervous. I'm gonna pass on that. Just the women's. Maybe we'll change our mind a little bit after the training run. She was dominating in the World Cup runs this year, but there were some of the better skiers were kind of less involved in the World Cup this year. Someone I am in on this year is Frederica Brignone. I think I said that right. Apologies, Frederica, if I butchered that. She's currently plus 1,000 for gold, plus 250 to win a medal over on DraftKings. She was the 24-25 World Cup champion. Had a really strong 24-25 season. Hasn't done as much this season. I think she's taking the season off to prep for the Olympics, which is good. So love her as part of my portfolio here looking at this. No women's downhill either on Kalshi yet. Wonder if that'll change as this gold medal runs are on Sunday morning. Their first training run yesterday got canceled, so runs tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday are the first time we're going to see the women on the hill, and I imagine these odds will shift a little bit. Thinking back to our Germany gold medal bet, two women here, Emma Eicher and Kira Weidel-Winkelmann, both incredibly hot on the World Cup circuit right now, running second and third behind Vaughn in the points. So really like them. Playing both of them the medal, plus odds currently over on DK, so love that. So that kind of just rounds that out. And additionally, you could sprinkle a little bit, maybe a unit on each of them to win a gold. Little bit of a long shot. It's tough to play multiple gold medal wins because only one person wins a gold and your other ones are just, if you win one bet, that means you lost two others. So that's a tough one, maybe on some longer odds. Eicher and Weidel-Winkelmann both have nice odds to win a gold medal, but I really like the play for me is Brignone for gold and to win a medal. So I'm playing both of those, and then I'm playing Eicher and Weidel-Winkelmann to medal as well. So I think that it'll be Brignone at the top of the podium, Eicher and Weidel-Winkelmann on either side of her in second and third. Women's ice hockey. We got some more games today, 2 games today, in addition to the opening ceremony. Kalshi prices only on the gold medal. It's tough right now. I don't love USA at 65 cents and Canada at 44 cents. Both of those, there's not a ton of value. Sure, you could get some shares on both of them. I'd balance it pretty equally and try to get to a point where you're going to make a little bit of money no matter who wins, but it's going to be tough because it's going to be one of those two teams. Game lines are tough. I don't love those, but one thing I do like is the totals. These women's hockey games have been high scoring, very entertaining, and DraftKings over there, I really like it right now. So I'm smashing the overs again. Love me some overs, and life's too short to bet the under anyways. So the play here, Japan and France over 5, Switzerland and Czechia over 4.5, and I love a parlay, so let's parlay those two together, get a little bonus single legs, and parlay them together. Speaking of parlays, mixed doubles curling. Books wised up on us, folks. 12.5 is that right line for the totals. And it's kind of a toss up whether you go over or under 12 and a half. And a lot of it depends on what the ice is doing. Something that we learned over the past couple days is that the ice is, they're struggling to keep it consistent there. You thinking it's ice, how hard is it to freeze it? Well, the problem with curling ice is it's got these like pebbles on top of it. So that's really important that those pebbles are uniform and freezing consistently and freezing at the right time and not gaining additional moisture. The curling rink in Cortina is not pressurized properly. So when doors open, air comes rushing in, which means that you're getting all that humidity, all whatever's outside coming in. And that's the opposite of what you want in a curling rink. You want positive pressure, so you want it to be the air's blowing out, not coming in. So the ice makers are having a lot of trouble, and they talked about that. They were worried even that the ice might crack initially, and it still might. So Italy just underprepared here across the board. So in bad ice conditions, you're more likely to see bigger scoring ends. So if you can get kind of an inside read and you know that the ice is a little off, go for it. The scores are going to tighten up, unfortunately, because teams are going to be doing a better job hitting their draws, feeling more confident with that if the ice stays good. With that being said, Team Great Britain has a game tomorrow morning against Korea, first thing. Love that. I think they're going to win that handily, so I'm buying them on Kalshi right now. Additionally, America and Canada play tomorrow, and I want to buy the loser of that game because the winner's price is going to jump up into the first spot, and the loser is going to fall back quite a bit. But I think right now the semifinals are really shaping up to be Great Britain, Canada, U.S., and a fourth team. Unclear yet who that is. The U.S. team with Corey, and Corey's playing great. I think Corey is going to get his second win here, Corey Dropkin. Going to really start to get energized as he acclimates to being in Italy. And I think that's going to be big for them as they kind of get that rocking and rolling. So the curling play tomorrow is by the by the Great Britain, not Green Bay. This is what I get for putting GB. Great Britain futures on Kalshi. Switzerland money line tomorrow in their early game, and I'm avoiding the totals for draw one. Basically, our numbers right now, if the totals come down, if the totals are at 11 and a half, smash the over. If they're at 13 and a half, smash the under. If it's at 12 and a half, unless you're feeling really good about where you're at, avoid the over under there. If it's at 12 and a half, that's like that line that they're going to set it at. All that being said, enjoy the opening ceremonies tonight. Enjoy all the great Olympic sports. We're going to have even more action. Maybe we'll talk less curling, but I wouldn't bet on it just because I love curling. So that's going to do it for me. Enjoy the Olympics, enjoy the opening ceremony, and as always, let it slide.